everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy Don Benito, and you know what? It's a new week, but such a disappointing time right now at Manchester. Yesterday's game is what we're going to discuss, and you can even tell with my demeanor that I am happy, and I'm not happy. What the fuck? You see where my mind is at? I'm not happy. I'm disappointed. I'm a little bit gutted, and I'm nervous, which is not something that I should be feeling at this stage, because I know that the Premier League is done, right? And the thing that I should be looking forward to is the Europa League, the final. But why am I not looking forward to it? Why am I all of a sudden nervous? What's going on? What happened yesterday? Why are the fans turning on the gaffer? What's happened? Did I miss something? Like, what's going on? What's going on? Because if you guys need reminding, yes, that's what I will do. This is what Benito does. I will remind you of everything that transpired right up until this moment. Because one thing I've learned about the new era of football, or the new generation of fans, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever this era we are in is, whatever this is, I don't know what it is, but this era has a tendency of people forgetting things. They forget quotes, they forget what the manager said, they forget what players done. People just forget, and I don't know why. It's easy to forget certain things, and then when it comes to certain arguments, you ask yourself, why is this human being talking to me? Because clearly they've got no understanding what is going on. Now, if you're Ruben Amorim out, then this conversation is not for you. Leave. Get the fuck out. You might as well stop this conversation now. Turn off your YouTube or whatever it is that you're listening to, because I'm going to be making noise. I'm going to be making noise for you. Because I'm not Ruben out. I'm not Ruben out. And I'll tell you why. And I will tell you everything that you need to know. Or I'm even going to make you feel stupid if you are that person. If you're heading in that. And I doubt that we have fans here that are going, oh, Ruben Amorim. I mean, they are there. They've already started saying, look, we need to start looking at the gaffer. And I'm like, what? What do you mean we need to start looking at the gaffer? What has the gaffer done that is so wrong that we need to start looking at him? This is a gaffer that has been here a couple of months. This is the gaffer, for those that forgot, didn't want to be at Manchester United this time. He wanted to come in the summer. Remember? Do you remember? Oh no. It was a take it or leave it kind of deal with Ineos. And who wouldn't want to come and manage Manchester United? Who wouldn't? Who bloody wouldn't? So this, you know, I don't want to say I'm rattled, but I am. And by the way, before I actually carry on, I think I want to give Pastor D his flowers, you know, because he called it. Like, nah, United are not making it. Bottom half, next to relegation. That's what he said. That's what he said. He's like, these players, he saw it. And my naive self, or my stupid self, I trusted the boys. Not that I'm complaining, because I told you guys at the time that this is for me. I'm doing this personally for myself. Like, I'm gonna back them, and I'm gonna support them, and like I'm gonna want my club to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, me saying that I want my team to be in the top half of the season. It's not a piss take. It's me supporting my team. But then now, when you break it down, you get to realize that these players are the ones that actually let us down. These players let us down. I'm sorry. There are so many games this season that you can look at and pinpoint and be like, bruh, these guys didn't give their all. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. This player took a piss. This guy was on holiday. This guy was thinking about money. This one, we don't know. There's just been a lot of things that have happened this season that have just been like, what? And I remember when we sacked Erik ten Hag and we brought Ruben Amorim in. And I remember saying to myself, look, I get it. I understand why everybody is in uproar and they want Erik ten Hag gone. I completely understand. It is misguided. It is rather unfortunate, but this is our reality right now. And the longer this gaffer stays on, the longer the club will become toxic. And I don't want toxicity. Like, trust me, I don't want to be fighting with my fellow Manchester United fans over players. It makes no sense. We are supposed to be one. We are supposed to be united. Do you understand? We are supposed to be united as one, but no. We are always divided. Our fan base is one of the most divided fan base out there. It's one of the biggest, but it's also one of the most divided. We can never seem to stick together as Manchester United fans. We can't. Everybody's got their own agenda. Everybody's got their own thing, but we don't seem to get along sometimes, and that drives me crazy. Why are we turning on the manager? Didn't we say that bringing a manager with very strong beliefs in his game and his formation and his tactics, that we were going to have to get used to it? Did we not talk about that? I'm confused. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember we discussed this. We talked about how difficult it would be to change the formation, how difficult it would be for these players to adapt, how difficult it would be for us to get into that winning. And we said that, look, new gaffer, we're going to give him time. We've not even given Ruben Amorim 6 months. Or have we? When did Ruben come in? I'm a little bit confused now. But anyway, he's not been here a year. My point is, Ruben has not been here long enough. Long enough for us to be wishing for him to be leaving. That is absolute madness. So we finally get to a point where the boys kind of understand the system. Now we want to disrupt that whole thing again. What fucking madness is that? What? We're going to bring another manager that's going to come in and take these boys back to that 4-2-3, whatever, 4-2-3-1 or 4 what? When we are here fighting and trying to understand this 3-4-3. Why did we waste this whole season trying to understand this formation if they're going to come back and dismantle it again? What was the point? What was the point of that exercise? It makes absolute no sense. So when I'm seeing people going in on the gaffer, I'm just like, wow, you are forgetting that those players, man, I've got words. There are so many, but there are so many to a point where I don't even know which word to choose to attack these guys. Because I'm sorry, these players need a scolding from us. I don't care. Like, look, we understand that our season is done. The Premier League season is done. We understand that. We understand that this season we have been completely dismal. We've been poor. We understand that. We understand that we brought in a new manager who had to bring in who came with the new system and will die by his system. So in other words, there's no other way for us to change this system unless we sack Ruben Amorim. That's the only way this 3-4-3, this formation that we are struggling with, gets destroyed. If you sack Ruben Amorim, as long as Amorim is our gaffer, that's going to be the formation. This is what we accepted as a club, as fans. We should have made noise then. Remember when I was like, how does this formation change come now? Like, this is confusing. We've had this conversation. Because when you're bringing in a formation change, you are changing the entire identity of the club. All the way to the bottom. Do you understand? All the way to the academy. But it seems like this formation only works with the first team. That's the only thing. It's not being passed down. Why? But that's not what we're talking about here. Why are people losing their mind? Ruben Amorim, when he arrived, he was very clear. Very, very clear. I am not changing my formation. My formation is like that. It is adaptable. It can adapt to so many situations. It works. It has been working. And the proof was in the pudding. Because Sporting Lisbon were running riot in Europe, in Portugal. They were just doing a madness with Ruben Amorim at the wheel. Those are facts. Understand that. Man United run to him, come into no. This is rush. Can I come in the summer? No. This is a do or die. This is now. Take it or leave it. Okay. Who's not gonna want to manage Manchester United? Even I would have taken the job without even hesitation, because it's Manchester United. It has gravitas. Do you understand? So, okay, you go out there, you bring a manager. Clearly, obviously, you had conversations, because if you didn't, that was so dumb. So you have conversations, you listen to the gaffer. The gaffer tells you how he likes to do things, and it is your duty as Glenios to provide for this gaffer. What do? You don't provide. You don't. January comes, nothing. You did all the financial mistakes all the financial heartache that we are experiencing at Manchester United. That was all on you guys. Do not blame it on the fans. Do not blame it on the players. You sacked people, and you're continuing to sack people. A final is coming. You're already putting some bad juju on us by not sending people to the final. Like, that's just bad juju. This thing of trying to be frugal and what when we are playing in a final. Like, who's going to support the boys? You look at PSG. The guy's paying he's taking 600 staff to the final. You look at Tottenham. They've already paid for their people to Manchester United. We are not paying. We're already putting that bad energy, that bad juju. Look, I said, I told myself I'm not gonna say anything about this, but I have a bad feeling about the final. When I say that once, I do. It's crazy, and I'll explain to you, because I listened to Ange Postecoglou, I listened to some of our comments, I listened to the gaffer. Yesterday's press conference, like his interview, it was heartbreaking. It was a call for arms, a call to action, or like a cry for help. I looked at that, I read it, I listened to it, I kept going over and over, and this guy is warning us. Ruben Amorim is warning us. He's warning us. And he's not the first manager to warn us. He's not. Ralph Rangnick warned us as well. He told us that we needed an open heart surgery. Ruben Amorim is now going into more detail about this. Yes, he's not mentioning who is the artery and who is the lung and blah, blah, blah. No. But he, in his own unique way, is expressing how rotten the culture at the club is. These players can't be asked. These players are absolutely pathetic. Is pathetic even the word? We cannot win a final with this kind of attitude. This flip-flopping. We're playing Chelsea next. We're playing Chelsea next. Chelsea are not very, very good. They've been high, but you will see that game. These guys wouldn't even be asked. What's happening with these players? And I don't want to hear anything about now they're thinking about the final. That is rubbish. The final is 2 weeks away. The final is 2 weeks away. Right now, these games right in between now and the final, this moment, these players are supposed to be sharpening their tools, right? We are supposed to be prepping. If there are any injuries, we are supposed to be getting to those finalizing, those fine, those fine margins. We are now just crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Giving players game time so that they can run, just to keep the juices flowing, so that they don't rust. But you give certain players auditions to play, and then they give that kind of performance. For me, the biggest thing is like, we're at home. It's a Premier League, and we're playing West Ham. No offense to West Ham, but they've been bad this season. We literally just gave them their first win in 8 wins or some bullshit like that. Manchester United, this is our thing. We're like Robin Hood or whatever. We take from the rich and we give the poor. Meaning we smack the Cities, we smack the Liverpools, we draw against Arsenal, all the big boys, we give them a run. Come these petty items, these babies. Take, here 3 points. Here 3 points. Here's a point for you. Yes, that's what we do. And history has shown that there are a lot of clubs that break in, whether it is break a record or they've broken their hoodoo. They have not been scoring for I don't know how long. Manchester United will provide that opportunity for you guys to break that hoodoo. This team has been losing 12 games. Manchester United is that team that's going to help you break that hoodoo for not scoring and not winning. This player has not scored in 10 years and he's now finally playing against Manchester United. We are going to provide the platform for him to break his hoodoo. What the fuck is that? And this has been happening for years. This is not the first time. This is not the first time where teams come to Old Trafford and take a piss. They take a fucking piss. To the point where the gaffer is like, we're getting to a point where we are losing the sense of being a massive club. When your gaffer says that, you must, that is painful. Because even I was thinking to myself, where's the pride? I was watching the boys, where's the pride? What happened to fighting for the badge? You sit there and you take, and the goals. Man, look at Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka had an amazing game. He came back home. The spider was just casting his web everywhere. He was playing champagne football, whatever you want to call it. We were like, it's almost as if we were being choked. How is that even possible? We are home. Wan-Bissaka is busy pirouetting every time. Pirouette, pirouette, and he's turning, cross, goal. This guy was enjoying himself. And then you look at our players, you look at Rasmus. Oh my God. What's happening? What is fucking happening? I know people are gonna go in on Ugarte and what because of that goal. I understand. That was a mistake. And you can shit on Ugarte for that mistake. But why didn't Ahmad take the ball forward? He had the space. Why didn't he? Excuse me. Why didn't he take on the players? Because at that moment we were breaking. Why didn't he continue his break? Why didn't he send the ball forward? He sent it back to Ugarte. Ugarte, for whatever reason, slips. The ball is taken away from him. But then when you look at his performances right up until that moment, I don't have a problem with him. I don't have a problem with Mason Mount. I don't have a problem with Bruno. I had a problem with Rasmus Højlund. I had a problem with Kobe Mainoo. I'm like, what's going on? Kobe Mainoo, I'm worried and concerned about Kobe Manu. Like genuine concern. It's not. I'm not trying to. You understand me? I'm not trying to start something. I'm not. I am genuinely concerned about Kobe Manu. Where does he fit into this system? Where? That midfield? Pivot? No chance. No chance. Kobe is not it. That midfield pivot, I'm sorry. No. We thought he was a box to box. We thought he could be a CDM. But the more we keep on playing, the more I don't know what Kobe Manu is. Especially in the system. The only position that I can place Kobe Manu in this system right now is the 10. Right behind the striker. But we have got Xerxes, we've got Bruno, we have got Mason Mount, we've got Ahmad, we've got Garnacho. That place is full of number 10s. And we're bringing in Cunha, hopefully. So that position behind the 10 is occupied. And it has got players that can actually do the job. Where does Kobe Manu play? You put him in that midfield pivot, he disappears. I swear to you, every time for me, that's personally how I'm seeing it. I don't want you guys to jump on me and be like, nah, that's not true. Fuck. I can even tell, like, I don't mince my words. I know what I see and I'm confident in what I see. Kobe Manu in that midfield pivot doesn't work. He always disappears. Looks like he's there, but he's not really there. You will see more of Ugarte and Bruno and whoever it is that's going to be helping in that midfield. He stays in one side of the pocket and just tries to maneuver himself there. It's not enough. You need to fucking run around. You need to go everywhere and do your thing. So I'm concerned about Kobe Manu because if he cannot find his place in that 10th row, I don't know. There's our generational talent who might be sold. We were expecting, but the system doesn't allow. It doesn't. Unless I don't know. It needs to come from him. He needs to want to be there because I don't see him doing a job there. I'm really, really concerned about that. Rasmus Højlund. Like, I've been talking about this guy until the cows have come home. I'm tired. Yesterday's game? Nah. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Where is Chido, by the way? Where is he? Why didn't Chido play yesterday? You know? Like, for me, that was the thing. Drop Rasmus Højlund. Like, Rasmus Højlund is... You see, I didn't want to get to this point where we are like going in on these players like this. But this is unacceptable. Rasmus needs to bench. Unfortunately, he can't bench because he's the only fucking striker we have. Imagine. Arsenal are looking for a striker. They don't have a striker. A fit striker. We have. But we can't score. They don't have and they're scoring. Make that make sense, bro. Make that make sense. Though people are gonna go in on Amas. Listen, this is why we didn't want to rush the kids. Because these kids need to be ushered into a team that has got stability. We can't be forcing these kids to be taking up roles for seniors who are taking a piss. We can't be doing that. Yes, it is our culture to bring in academy players in. But then you're supposed to create a learning foundation or a learning curve for these players. They need to be playing or surrounding themselves with seniors that get it. Seniors that are going to help them. But now, our team is so fucked that we don't have wing backs, that we need to look for kids, and then we trust them, we put them there. And when they do shit, we jump in on them. Like, that's the life that we are in right now. Garnacho, was he good? He was alright. But then again, now this is so weird because looking back, I wish he would have started. Even though I'm saying that I was actually glad he didn't start. By the way. But the way we were playing and the way we didn't look like we wanted to win, I just thought to myself, what's going on? See, this is the problem that we are experiencing right now. the fans don't know. Like, we won against Bilbao. That was amazing. You lifted the spirits. We were united. We were one. You know? Now, we were expecting you players to add on to the excitement, build up the hype, because we are going to play in the final. Show the fans what you're going to do. And then this is what you do. I am not blaming I'm not blaming Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim prepared a team to win. I was even impressed with the starting lineup, because I'm like, wow, you know, for the longest time, Manchester United, we've not been able to do this. Yes, he's rotating a lot, but we have abused certain players even more, played them more than they should have, to the point where we start getting mad, or to the point where it's like taking them off or not putting them on the bench. It almost seems blasphemous. You get so used to something that is constantly put in front of you that you just accept it. And that's the problem that we have at Manchester United. And I like the fact that, you know, when I pick my starting lineup, I don't know if I'm gonna get it right or not. You know, I'm always like, the gaffer, he doesn't want me to win. But that shows me how this gaffer is looking at things. Do you understand? This gaffer is paying attention to every player. He's paying attention to the rotation. Like, he's giving everybody a chance. Some of the players that have been featuring this season, had it been another manager, they would have never gotten a chance. We would have been complaining about something different. I'm sitting here right now, and I won't lie to you, I'm missing Pelestri. Facundo Pelestri. He's one player, I'm thinking to myself, wow, if we hadn't sold him, he's somebody that would actually come and do a job, especially in Ruben Amorim's system. You know, and the crazy thing is, us fans, we know the kind of players, the characteristics that we need in a player that needs to work for this Ruben Amorim system. We know it. We know it, but you know, so the reason why I'm concerned about the final, this team, Ruben looked deflated, especially first number one, when Yoro picked up his injury. He was really concerned. So we are still going to wait to find out what the situation with Yoro is there, but that is another player that we could miss out for the final. Very solid. That is actually coming into himself, by the way. I mean, yesterday he was playing that senior pivotal role. As you can see, he's improving. Because normally Yoro plays on the flanks, but yesterday he was that central guy. He was him, and then he had Shaw, and then he had, who was this other person on this side? Mazraoui. So I'm looking at the gaffer. He looks deflated. He looks upset. He just looks lost. He looks like, fuck, I might have bitten more than I could chew. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't really gauge what his exact feelings were, but you could have you have an idea based on his tone, the way he's carrying himself. You can see that this man is hurting. You can see that something is not right. You can tell. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to discuss with regards to Ruben Amorim's interview. His words, like there's some stuff that I need to say that even you, when you think about it, you look and you listen, you be like, you know what, there's something wrong here. We need to sort this out. So one thing that I would commend him is that he always takes the blame. Always takes the blame for that shit, which he should stop doing. Because Ruben, we believe in you. We know you, Ruben. We know that you are not trying to sabotage this team. We know it. So I would like him to chill on self-sabotaging every single, like, I get it. I understand he's the manager. And if the players are doing bullshit, it's because he has put them there. So, like, rightfully so, he's right when he says that it's his fault, because he has picked the team, he's picked the formation, he's spoken to the players, he is in charge. So, so by saying that, look, I blame myself, I'm taking full responsibility, he's taking away the heat from the players. But should he do that? I think not. So this is what he had to say. He was like, I don't want to talk about the players. I'm talking about myself and the culture in the club and the culture in the team. We need to change that. And we need to... Okay, so he says, we need... Okay. He's talking about the culture. And then he says, we need to change that. And we need to be really strong in the summer. Meaning, Ineos, we need serious recruitment. Do not be sleeping on the gaffer's words. He's telling you that, look, we need to be strong and aggressive in the transfer window. He needs serious backing. There's no point of us going into next season when this guy doesn't get serious backing. Eric Ten Hag got his backing. Ruben Amorim deserves. If there's one guy that deserves a backing or a war chest, it's Ruben. It's Ruben. So he continues and he was like, because we cannot have a season like this next year. If the feeling is still here, we should give the space to different people. Different persons, but different people. So there's something that Ruben is talking about at Manchester. He's talking about the culture. He keeps on talking about this feeling. This is not the first time he keeps talking about that. He says there's this feeling. As an ex-player myself, I think I understand what he's talking about, this feeling. We have this dark cloud around us, unfortunately. And I think this is the feeling that he's talking about. Like, it's almost like imposter syndrome for these players. Yeah, that's the best way that I can picture, that I can put it. Because it makes no sense that one game you have this kind of energy and attitude, and then the next game you have a completely different change in tune about everything. It makes no sense. I think if there's one club that is doing that, it is us. Literally. Like, I've not seen any other club this season do the bullshit that we do, where we can play good in one game or play alright and then move on to the next game and then be completely shit. Nah, I've never seen that. I've not seen that. So he's like, so it's a big problem that we have at the club. It's a decisive moment in the history of the club, and we need to address that. So this thing, this feeling, this thing of the attitude, we need to sort it out. The gaffer is talking about a feeling. He has just arrived at the club. What feeling is he talking about? The feeling that he's talking about is the feeling that you and I know. The players, there is a dark aura in that thing that needs to be cleaned out. Whether it is old players, like old players, some players that are leaving, let's clear out. Players losing, not getting contract, what people leaving, that needs to happen ASAP. Provided that these guys are bringing in more, because the gaffer needs reinforcement. He's like, we are losing the feeling that we are a massive club, and the feeling. We are losing the feeling that we're not a massive club. And that feeling that we're not the biggest thing. Sorry. We are losing the feeling that we are a massive club. And the feeling that it's not the biggest thing in the world. Losing a game at home. So basically he's saying, it is so bad that even these players, like, we are losing that sense in ourselves. That thing of like, we are Manchester United, that pride is slowly diminishing. Our star is slowly diminishing. So he's saying, like, these losses are slowly breaking us down to a point where we don't even recognize ourselves. We don't recognize ourselves, which is absolutely true. We don't. We don't have that fear anymore. And that is the most dangerous thing that the club has. When he says we don't have that fear, it means basically is that losing has become so normal that we don't care. Like it's now just becoming okay for Old Trafford to be disrespected, for it to be penetrated the way it is always being penetrated. And he's saying that if we allow that to continue, then we are doomed. He's like, you can feel it in the beginning of the game, the lack of urgency. And he's completely right. There's a lack of urgency when we're playing in the Premier League and in the Europa League. And you know what the crazy thing about the gaffer is, what he said, and this is why I love this gaffer. Because yes, we are in the final, but we're not playing scintillating football. We're not playing prime Barcelona football. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing the 08 Champions League winning Manchester United squad kind of football. We're not. Somehow the football gods have carried us up until this moment. You know, we're not playing very good football. And I like that the gaffer actually pointed that out. He was like, look, we're not playing particularly well in the Europa League, but in there's an urgency, there's a sense of urgency. These guys know if we concede this or if we don't score this, there's going to be a problem. We're not going to win. You understand? They're focused their mind, because they're all in the final. They're all thinking about winning this trophy and not focusing on anything else. So screw the Premier League. Like, the Premier League is taking the biggest hit. Now, mind you, our season is going to be judged based on the performances we had in the Premier League. Don't forget this unbeaten run that we have in Europa. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. We just use that as pride, you know, like, we are Manchester, we are the only ones who are unbeaten. But it means nothing. It really means nothing if we are the way we are right now. Losing games the way we are losing. It makes no sense. So all this unbeaten talk, we do that for banter. We do that so that we protect ourselves from the nonsense of the rivals. Because we can easily, hey, Manchester United, you guys suck. We are in a final, bitch. We are playing in a final. What can you say? You look at Arsenal. Have they had a worse or better season than us? They had a better season than us, but they haven't won anything. And everybody else is going crazy. They need to win, they need to win. What? We are on the verge of winning, but then our squad is shit. So he's right. There is a sense of urgency on Europa. And the fact that the gaffer said it just opened up my heart even more. Like, I melted even more. I'm like, you know what? I love Ruben. I really do. Because this guy speaks exactly what's on our mind. Now, the thing that was very touching and telling to me was the part when he was like, look, if we cannot be able to do... Oh, sorry. So he goes, if we are not able to do what we have to do, if we are not able to do, we have to go away and give the space to different people. All of us. So basically, what I understood from there was like, look, this is Manchester United. This club is huge, and right now we are not treating it accordingly. And if we are going to carry on in this same way, if we're not going to start winning, if we're not going to start doing the things that show that we are Manchester United, then all of us need to be sacked. All of us. All of us. That's basically what he was saying. He's like, we have to go away and give the space to different people. All of us. I'm talking about, look, he also means the players need to go. Because the attitude and the people that are representing this club are the players. The players need to go. This is now just unbecoming. He's like, we are going to face a Premier League team in the final of the Europa. So we are going to struggle. Listen to that. If we were going to be playing either Bodo, Glimt, or somebody else, he probably wouldn't have said that. But because we are playing a Premier League side, the Premier League has been our kryptonite this season. What the fuck? I never thought I would ever say shit like that, but it has. The Premier League is our kryptonite. Like this is the cup that we need to win. But somehow we are allergic to it. We've been allergic to it. He's like, of course, we are going to be more focused, meaning the players, during the final. And that is a concern because we have to be focused on every game. Guys, if this guy is not... Ruben Amorim is the truth, bro. Maybe the truth is going to... maybe the truth won't set him free. I don't know. But the guy, I'm sorry, to me, the truth is setting him free. It's clearing. It's giving him that clean slate. Because he's just basically saying, look, of course you are going to be there. Come the final. You see this game that you just played right now? They look like they didn't care, right? They didn't score. But I guarantee you that the final, these boys are going to be more focused. He's telling us that in plain sight. Like, are you listening? Are you hearing what the gaffer is saying? He's telling us that these guys are like, I also don't know. I also don't know, guys. 1 minute we are good, the other minute they were bad. Today they've dropped points, but I can guarantee you that the final, these boys are going to be more focused, and that is a concern for me. That's the gaffer saying. That is a concern for me because these guys are supposed to bring it every game. Are you guys starting to see the feeling that he's talking about? Huh? Are you starting to get this feeling that he's talking about? Huh? My listeners, are you getting it? This is the feeling. That is the thing. It's like this feeling. It's this. It's this that he mentioned in the press conference. He says, for me, it doesn't matter if we win the Europa League because the problems are much bigger. Here we are as fans, Manchester United fans, excited about this. We want to win the trophy because we know that it's going to be competition money, back in the Champions League, and then already players are thinking, look, you know what, I can play for Manchester United in the Champions League. Champions League is a big deal. It's the creme de la creme of football. Everybody wants to play in the Champions League. So if we were to make it into the Champions League, it's just going to bring a whole different buzz to the club. The question is, do we deserve to be there? Are we good enough to be in the Champions League? The way we've been playing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This season? Nah. Do we deserve to be there next season? Personally, and I'm only going to say this here, no, we don't. But we need the money. Right? Unless we get the sheikh to come here and take over the club, there's no money. We need to find ways to make money. That competition brings money. And it looks like these guys are not even going to support him. So us as the fans, we need to adjust. We need to recalibrate our mind because we know that any sort of financial income that comes into the club will be pushed towards the war chest for Ruben Amorim. We want Ruben Amorim to look. Every other gaffer has been given time and also been given the money to do what he has to do. We want the same for Ruben Amorim. We do. And I don't want to hear this thing of like, Delict, what. No, these Xerxes, Delict, Mazraoui, Heaven, Chido, Ugarte, who else? Yoro. All those players came under Erik ten Hag's regime or Erik ten Hag's timeline. And by no ways am I saying that these are, yes, some of those players that are going to be used, they are for the future. We're talking about Mazraoui, we're talking about Yoro, Delict, maybe even Ugarte. But that doesn't mean that all of these guys are going to be there next year. Or these people are going to be there. Nah. Those that are not good enough need to go. We need to stop holding on to players because we are afraid that they're going to become something else. Look at Scott McTominay. You guys wanted him to go because you thought that he was going to flop. You thought he wasn't going to be who he would. Look at him. He's thriving more than usual. Anthony, we don't even want to talk. So we are holding on to players who don't want to be there. You can see that their attitudes don't want to be there. So let's let them go. Let the players go. Let's stop this thing. So with Ruben Amorim, bro, I'm also concerned because he's like, look, I'm not concerned about the final. It is by far the smallest problem in our club. They will be focused on the pitch, but I don't know what is best. If it's playing in the Champions League or not. So he's sitting there as the gaffer thinking to himself. He's like, look, okay, we are here. We're in the final. And if we win this final, we're going to go into the Champions League. But can I take these boys to the Champions League? With this attitude, with this sort of flip-flopping, he's concerned about that because he knows he cannot go with this team to the Champions League next season. Should he win it? He knows that this is just another one of those, we're just papering over the cracks. You can imagine, today, it is the Glazzer's 20th anniversary takeover. And look at the shit that we are talking about. Look at the problems that we are discussing. We're discussing issues that, quite honestly, we shouldn't be talking about this. We should be buzzing because we're in a final. We need to be getting ready. We need to stop entertaining bullshit from rivals, any other people. Like, look, this rule, and by the way, I need to mention this. This thing of the rule change and stuff, I completely understand why people are up and raw and they're complaining. I understand. We are 16th, 17th, and then next year we have the potential of playing in the Champions League. Like, what? What does that even mean? No, that doesn't work. Because the whole season they didn't even try to defend their place in the Premier League. Like, this team, if it gave at least showed that the Premier League we are fighting as well, then maybe we'll cut them some slack. But I'm not cutting them some slack for this. I'm not, because this season they flip-flopped. Whether it is they took time getting their physical fitness back, because some of them like Casemiro had to work his fitness back to what it is right now, and that was a long ass journey. Some of the players have been overused. Some of the players have just been like, But then what's the story? So I completely understand when people are complaining, like, look, it makes no sense. And if UEFA or whatever, the people in the higher ups, they decide to change that rule, I think it is a perfect rule to change because it makes no sense. It really, really does. It will wake a lot of teams up that nah. You're not going to use this strategy for this. I mean, at the time when they brought it up, I think they were trying to boost revenue or trying to boost the competition, the allure of the competition. But now we're looking at these Tottenham and Manchester United, people that are almost relegated, about to be playing in the Champions League. That makes no sense. And then for us, in our case, I completely understand because the players have just been too shit. We've been players injured almost whole season. Some people coming in and out of injury. It has been difficult. But I truly think that Ruben Amorim has outdone himself in the sense of trying to manage this team. Because you think, look, a lot of our team, everybody has played. Everybody has played. I take pride in that. Of course, Heaton hasn't played. But you understand what I mean. Everybody has played under Ruben Amorim. Had he been under somebody else, I'm not even trying to take a shot at Erik ten Hag. But even Erik ten Hag had this bad habit of playing his favorite players and not changing them and sticking with them until he had that problem. Imagine Ruben would have been seeing the same thing. We would have seen players who are rusty, who don't get an opportunity, and then only after somebody is injured do we bring them on to play, then they get injured, and then we are back to the season before last, where we just had an absolute fucking injury crisis from hell. I don't get this Ruben Amorim out and people, hey, let's look at the gaffer. I don't get it. I don't. The gaffer sets us up to win all the time, and he's been doing that numerous times. One thing I will say is that his substitutions, like his second half, was bad. Makes no sense. I think we had you look at that game as a full 90 minutes. The best football was played in the first half by Manchester United. Albeit we didn't do jack shit. Albeit we didn't even. I don't even wanna because I'll burst a vein in my head. I don't. Thank you everybody for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. It's me, Don Benito. Peace.